What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and we got to talk about Robert Saleh being fired and Aaron Rodgers clapping back at pretty much Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe. Now, Shannon has been on Aaron Rodgers' case over the last few days, even called out Dan Orlovsky for not calling out Aaron Rodgers and talking about his subpar play up to this point in the season, where the defense kept giving him a chance to win last week, but Aaron Rodgers came up short. Only 2 touchdowns, but threw 3 picks, and really isn't playing up to the Aaron Rodgers standard. Is he Aaron Rodgers of old, or can we expect that? No, but he is playing below the level, that people anticipated. But we're gonna look at what was said with Dan Orlovsky and Shannon Sharpe first. A little bit of that, if you hadn't been up to date on what's been going on, then we're gonna look at Shannon reacting to the news and also Aaron Rodgers' response. Let's check it.
Nah, I'm not going to let you blame it on the offense because you didn't blame the offense when they had those other quarterbacks. You blame the quarterback, but you want to stay in good graces and you won't call Aaron Rodgers out. He's playing awful. You know it. Everybody in New York knows it, and everybody around the NFL knows it. He's playing terrible.
But it's also not my job to go on national television and talk about a Hall of Fame quarterback when I was a backup quarterback and say that he stinks.
Whoa,
yes, he's part of the situation.
Stephen A.
You're a Hall of Famer. You could do that. You're a Hall of Famer. You could do that. You could do that.
I need you to give D.O. Let him see his job description. That is his job, is to critique Hall of Fame, non-Hall of Famers. It does not matter. Molly, before I address that, Stephen A., I got to push back at you. Robert Saleh didn't lose the team. Aaron Rodgers undercut this man by not coming to mandatory minicamp. And we heard the mumbles. We heard people outside saying how that looked because mandatory. Well, I think they just then they put that word mandatory. Mandatory has always meant the same thing, Fox. You know what mandatory means. They have one of those where you are required. The others are voluntary. We know what voluntary means. We know what mandatory means. The moment that Aaron Rodgers did that, Robert Saleh had no control.
So we know Aaron Rodgers has been Pat McAfee guy for a long time. Pat McAfee is over there at ESPN now. So right after Shannon and those guys get on, the Robert Saleh situation, who does Pat McAfee have on? His guy to get his point across in. Aaron Rodgers came in and he had something to say about it. Let's check it out.
As any of the ridiculous allegations out there, I'm not going to spend more than one sentence in response to it, and that is, I resent any of those accusations because they're patently false. And it's interesting the amount of power that people think that I have, which I don't. I love Robert, and it was one of those days yesterday.
Thank you for saying all that. Obviously, they'll take something you said there and chop it up and then say, that's the world we're in, journalistic standard.
I don't care.
So as you can see, Aaron Rodgers didn't have too much to say about it. But, he said it was pretty much erroneous and what they're saying has no merit to it. Now, Shannon Sharpe did bring up a great point, during the mandatory workouts and everything, him not showing up, him supposed to be the leader, setting the tone, especially after getting injured in the first possession, first offensive possession of last season. You would think he would come in, ready to set the tone, but he didn't. So Robert Saleh, he didn't have control of the team after that. I agree with that. Aaron Rodgers was there to kind of set that example, and he didn't. But he's saying he didn't have no bearing on him getting fired. But one could argue if he would have been there and, been going to bat for him and everything, maybe he still could have been around. I know the team had expectations and all that, but hey, it is what it is, man. It's a tough league. I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys so you can see what is being said between the two. But he was definitely coming for Shannon Sharpe on that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time.